So we're here in Maui, just finished pre-flighting the airplane. We're going to do a flight around the islands.
Our flight takes us from Maui to the north shore of Molokai, then to Lanai, and then around the south of Maui to Hana, and then back to Kahului Airport on Maui. We leave Kahului Airport and head north-northeast on the northeastern coast of Maui. It's actually quite pretty, fairly tropical, gets a fair bit of rain on this side of the island. Out leaving the north coast of Maui and heading across the water to Molokai. I've been to Hawaii maybe 30 or 40 times since the early 1980s and have never been to Molokai before, so it'll be my first time on the island. You can see Kahului Airport there in the distance. This is where we'll be landing. It's the smallest runway on Molokai. It's on the north shore, and it's probably one of the more desolate airports to get to if you're not going by boat or by plane. It's one of the prettiest airports I've flown into. You fly in over the Pacific Ocean and you take off over the Pacific Ocean, and you can actually see the waves breaking at the end of the runway as you're rotating the aircraft. Here's the view from the cockpit with my GoPro. The camera stopped working on me for most of the flight, but it worked for at least this portion of the flight, so that was fortunate since this is probably the prettiest airport to land at. So we can see what it's like to land here if you want from the cockpit. I'll play it through for most of the duration in case you're interested. We're now on the downwind. We'll be turning base in a minute, and then we'll go to final, and we'll do a touch and go, and then we'll take off, fly over Molokai, and do a touch and go in Lanai. For those of you that have not flown in a small plane before, or have not flown in the cockpit of an aircraft, the squeaking noise you're about to hear is the stall warning horn, and that's perfectly normal. It just tells me that the wings are about to lose lift and we're about to gently touch down on the runway. So we just left Kahului Airport, and in the background you can see the cliffs. These cliffs rise 3,000 to 4,000 feet from the ocean, and according to many Hawaiian tourist bulletins, they're the highest cliffs in the world, sea cliffs in the world, that rise up directly from the ocean. We'll be flying over those in just a minute, and then on to Lanai. Clouds have been very low today. Yesterday everything was clouded in, so we couldn't fly. So we've been flying mostly at 2,000 to 1,500 feet AGL above ground. So since most of the airspace here is uncontrolled, Class G, we're totally legal. It happens right now. We're actually flying through Class D airspace. The main Molokai Airport is Class D, and we did radio and did receive permission from ATC, Air Traffic Control, to fly through their airspace at this altitude. So we've left Molokai. We're now flying along the western shore of Lanai. Clouds are really low over this island. This island is pretty arid. Not too much to see. We're just going to do a touch and go at the airport. But again, my GoPro's not working, so we'll just take a quick look at the cliffs and then we'll head down the western coast of Maui to Hana. We're now flying down the west coast of Maui. You can see the lava tubes. The lava, when it hits the water, obviously creates a lot of steam, and that steam creates tubes and chambers. They call them lava tubes. So back in the early 80s, many decades ago, we hired a guide and went exploring some of those lava tubes. It was unconventional then. I'm not sure they let you do it now. The tubes start at about 60 feet, go down to 100 feet. So certainly something you need to keep your wits about you. Again, that's not something we would care to do today. West coast of Maui is very arid, in contrast to the east coast, which is a rainforest and a jungle. So interesting to see the topography in just a few minutes versus a day's drive around the island, which we typically do. We're now flying into Hana. There's been quite a bit of rain on this side of the island lately, so there's quite a few waterfalls, just like we saw in Molokai. You can see the Kahului Airport off the left wing. We're just now on base, doing a high base and a high final to avoid the terrain. There's a hill in front of the runway and lots of trees. We just departed the Kahului Airport off to the left. We've actually flown out of there before. We did that about 6 months ago. It's a fun airport, very pretty part of the island. And now we're flying back to Kahului, to the main airport. And this is the famous Hana Highway we're now flying over. Instead of taking 3 to 3.5 hours, it's going to take us about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll just let the camera roll for the rest of the video, and you can look at the gorgeous, beautiful scenery and decide for yourself if you want to do a flight like this next time you're in Hawaii. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll probably do it again sometime.